What if cars were manufactured like smartphones? And I mean that quite literally. Like, what if cars were also made by Foxconn? Quoting The Economist, Foxconn wants to be to car makers what it already is to Apple and other consumer electronics brands, which is to say their contract manufacturer of choice. On October 8th, the firm unveiled 2 new EV reference models, an unexpectedly handsome people carrier and an ungainlier small bus. They join a lineup of 6 earlier designs for car companies to pick from, fine-tuned to their liking, and slap their badge on. One of these, an SUV, has become a domestic EV bestseller for Luxgen, a 15-year-old Taiwanese carmaker. Next year, Foxconn aims to be mass-producing a version of it with an American partner. One day, it would love to be churning out Teslas. If an EV is a smartphone on wheels, why not build it like a smartphone? And who better to do this than the world's leading assembler of electronics? For Foxconn, the $4 trillion global car market is a big prize as smartphone sales tail off. For EV newcomers with no manufacturing chops and legacy car giants with the wrong sort, farming out assembly could be a way out of production hell, as Elon Musk once memorably described Tesla's effort to expand capacity. And what automotive CEO would pass up an opportunity to be more like Tim Cook at Apple, overseeing a revered brand, ungodly profits, and a $3.5 trillion market capitalization? This should not be a huge leap for car makers. Their suppliers nowadays contribute 2/3 of the value of a vehicle, estimates Matteo Fini of S&P Global Mobility, a research group, leaving them to do the design, final assembly, marketing, and distribution. Moreover, integrating all the disparate subsystems is a growing headache. Already, some BMWs, Jaguars, and Toyotas, notably low-volume, high-margin coupes and convertibles, are put together by contractors such as Magna Steyr. In 1999, Ford toyed with getting out of metal bending entirely in order to focus on the immaterial bits of the business. As a Ford executive summed it up to The Economist at the time, auto companies are seen as firms which invest a lot and get a little return. Consumer companies are seen as investing little and earning a lot. That idea proved too futuristic for turn-of-the-century Detroit and was ditched, but the executive's words rang true then and ring truer today. Ford and Apple each maintain $40 billion or so in fixed assets and spend $8 to $10 billion a year on capital investments. Yet in 2023, the iPhone maker raked in more than twice Ford's revenue and 23 times its net profit. Even if you add its $30 billion in research and development costs to its capital expenditure, Apple is matched by Volkswagen and Toyota, the world's 2 biggest car makers, neither of which sells as much. As a share of revenue, Apple's combined R&D and capital spending at 10% is dwarfed by that of BYD, China's EV champion, which last year spent 27%. Now, imagine that Toyota or Volkswagen trim their outlays along similar lines. Cutting their R&D and capital spending by half would free up $19 billion apiece in each firm's cash flow after capital expenses. Assuming their shares kept trading at a typical recent multiple of this free cash flow, Volkswagen would stand to gain $170 billion in market value and Toyota some $270 billion, more than doubling and quadrupling their market values respectively, end quote.